In this section, we are going to explain how scarcity requires individuals and nations to make decisions about resources. And we're also going to describe the 4 factors of production. Making economic decisions. Scarcity is the lack of goods or services. The principle of scarcity states that there are limited resources for unlimited wants. Because of the limited supply, having one thing means you might have to give up something else. So the idea is that we want to think about what is the best use for the item that's in short supply. So we want to make the best decision possible. Factors of production. There are 4 factors of production that are necessary to produce a society's goods and services. They are natural resources, labor resources, capital resources, and entrepreneurial resources. Natural resources are raw materials from nature used to produce goods. So think of the ones we normally think of when we talk about wood and oil, cotton, anything that is produced in nature or created from nature. Synthetic and artificial materials come from these natural resources because they are made when we make changes to the natural resources. For example, nylon that you use in ropes, that's created from coal, water, and air. The economy of countries is going to be based primarily on their natural resources or lack of resources. The Middle Eastern economy is driven primarily because of the fact they have so much access to oil. Korea and Japan have very limited land, so many of their resources are, brought in, and so their primary resource is not so much natural as it is would be labor. Renewable resources are things that can be renewed easily, such as wheat, cattle. They can be reproduced. Other resources are considered non-renewable, even if technically they aren't non-renewable, such as oil or coal. It just takes so much time, and so the resource is limited and not likely to be remade in our lifetime. So coal, iron, and oil are just a few examples of non-renewable resources. Next, we have labor resources. Every business needs labor in order to produce their product. So labor resources are the people who make the goods and services for which they're being paid. This could be skilled labor or unskilled labor, physical labor such as construction, or intellectual labor such as medicine. Whether you're a cashier or a news anchor, you are a labor resource according to the textbook. Capital resources is not the same as money. All right, capital is sometimes a word we use to reference towards money, but capital resources in this case are the things used to produce the goods and services. So this would be the materials necessary to produce the goods or services, such as the tractor needing to go into the fields, the buildings for a corporation or a school, and the equipment necessary. Actually, the tractor would be an equipment example. Materials would be like, having trees in order to create paper. Entrepreneurial resources, they meet society's changing needs and wants. They're used by people who recognize opportunities and start businesses. Entrepreneurship is the process of recognizing a business opportunity and then doing the necessary activities in order to start the business. An entrepreneur is that individual who undertakes the creation, the organization, and ownership of a business, plus the risks that come with it and hopefully the profits. This is similar to labor resources. Because both are people, but more specific to the people who start the business in order to meet the new demand. That concludes lesson 2.1 on economic resources.